Absolutely love it, man. Yeah, those are the 4 games that were going on. There are some games that are starting up now, so definitely tune in. We are going to sit here and give you since we weren't here on Tuesday, we're going to give you our week 2 game balls, starting with our honorable mentions. And I'm going to go first with my honorable mention. I mentioned this guy last week, and I did not want to put him in 2 weeks in a row. But with the way he's been playing, I could not hold back, even though they got the loss. Ashton Genty of Boise State, 196 yards, 3 TDs. We knew he had over 260 some odd yards, I think 267 a week ago. So he's by far up there in the rushing totals in the country. Totally balled out and kept them in that game where they only lost by 3 to a solid Oregon team, man. So Alex, what's your first honorable mention?
So my first honorable mention is a team that pretty much everybody gave 0 chance to win that game last week, talking NIU. Pulling the upset on Notre Dame. Sorry, EK, if you're watching this. But Ontario Brown, the running back for Northern Illinois, 20 carries, 99 yards, essentially a 5-yard per carry average, which is insane against that Notre Dame defense. And then also had 2 catches, 126 yards and a touchdown. Ooh. This dude was just the do-it-all Swiss Army knife for them, and he balled out on their biggest stage. So I can't wait to see what NIU does with this, builds off this, and maybe makes a run of that Group of 5 playoff bid.
Oh, yeah. It's a huge, huge win. It'll definitely help them. And the rest of that schedule looks definitely favorable to them, especially I think they have Buffalo this week, and then I believe they have North Carolina State next week. And we saw North Carolina State let albeit dominant Tennessee team put 51 on them, but still, you couldn't even muster up an offensive touchdown. So it's going to be interesting to see if you and NIU can pull that victory out. Watch out for them for sure.
Absolutely.
My second honorable mention is Rutgers running back Kyle Monaghy, 208 yards, 3 TDs, and a big victory for Rutgers. Every year, they're always giving somebody some trouble. You guys, they always, give you guys a little bit of a test from time to time. But I love what they're continually building. We know Rutgers is one of those teams known for some solid running backs. Ray Rice was over there, several years back. So seeing this, having him ball out too. Oh, right. Absolutely. So having these guys ball out like this is pretty dope, man. So Devin, shout out to Kyle for him. What's your second honorable mention?
This is a guy we've called him out and praised him week after week after week. And I can do that because he left that team down south. Mr. Kyle McCord lit up the stat sheet again against a very good Georgia Tech team that we've seen start off the year. Made it look easy. 381 yards, 32 of 46, 381, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Also ran 3 times 10 yards. But he's in total control of this offense. This is another team that I've been it might be because of that history with McCord, but I was kind of, and the school as well, but kind of waiting for them to kind of fall off.
Yes.
Like they usually do week 3, week 4, week 5, somewhere in there.
Yep.
I don't see that happening because this is the best they've looked in a very long time. And McCord's a big part of that. I think this is a guy that you might kind of have to start giving him some consideration for the Heisman the way those numbers are.
Oh, absolutely.
I think him, Genty deserves to be in there as well. And then my front runner, I'll talk about some of his teammates in a few minutes here, but Quinn Ewers is my favorite right now.
Yeah.
He's just looked so freaking good all year long.
Oh, yeah. He absolutely has. And I know you've seen the new Dr. Pepper commercial with him talking about, and I don't know if you noticed that at the end, he was like, yeah, I did it. And the guy was like, yeah, with no backup. And I was like, is that a shot to Arch? Is that a
Yes, it is.
I was like, okay, Quinn, okay, buddy, let's go.
Yeah.
And real quick, my last honorable mention, you alluded to it earlier, and I'm just going to give it to the whole damn team. Eric, I love you, buddy, but I apologize. I didn't see this happening at all. NIU getting the upset. This has to be, and I know you know this. This has to be App State over Michigan. Like this is one of those. I mean, you see the interview with the coach after the game, and he was moved to tears, and I would be too. Like I did not see this.
Yeah,
you would have asked me 100 times, 101 times, I would have said, "I'm sorry, NIU. Notre Dame's gonna whoop you," and they didn't. So shout out to them, man. The team.
I mean, you see that if you looked at our group chat throughout that day, and multiple people, I felt so bad for EK because not only did the loss happen, but people kept coming in at different points throughout the day and being like, "Wait, Notre Dame lost?
Right.
Wait, Notre Dame lost?" Like just sticking the knife in and twisting time after time after time. As another team that got their butts kicked, I'll roll listen to my game ball here, but you never want to see that.
Nope.
My game ball, my last game ball, you went with the whole team. I went with a unit here. The Texas offensive line.
Yeah.
This group dominated. They imposed their will. As a former offensive lineman, I hated to see it against my own team, but it was art. It was pure art. That game plan was perfection. Everything that Texas did on last Saturday was insanely good. They remind me a lot of us last year, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
When you were, I spoke ad nauseum about our defensive tackles, our defensive line in general. Quinn Ewers was not touched. He was not sacked. He had all day in the pocket, and there were a couple times he had to weave his way through, but most of the game he was comfortable. And then they ran for almost 5 yards a carry, 32 carries, 143 yards, and a touchdown against that defensive line.
Yeah.
Phenomenal performance by that offensive line. I think them, probably LSU, Georgia, obviously, but I think there's kind of those elite offensive lines that set themselves away from the rest, and Texas is absolutely one of them.
Oh yeah, they're absolutely and led by Quinn Ewers, even like you talked about, man. Hey, I didn't want that to happen, but they showed. Now I don't think that would have happened if they get the W and they make it the national championship last year. I think y'all team was far too powerful for.
Oh yeah, I think we beat them last year, but I didn't know what to expect. But in the back of my mind, I was like, we could get whooped today, like.
Yeah, man, you lost a lot of guys, but yeah, hey, move on. We're moving on to the next week.
Arkansas State today. It's a get-right game today before USC next week.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Give us a week, man. Give us some time.